Hi everyone, this is Peter Waterhouse here, creating a little video for EDF 4610, interacting with research in educational contexts. We're into week 4 already. Now, I promised myself that I would try to create and use more video and audio files on Moodle this semester. So here we go. You get the opportunity to look at a talking head for a little bit on this one. You can see that I'm in my office here at home, so you get a little bit of a glimpse into my domestic world. Now, you might have noticed that I did not post slides for this week. I didn't actually use slides on Tuesday evening, and so I haven't put any slides up. But I didn't get to address all of the key points that I wanted to make on Tuesday evening. The time sometimes gets away from us a little bit. And so this video is an opportunity to try and just fill some of the gaps. First of all, I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you this. Can you see that? Now you might be asking, why am I showing you this object? Well, I call it a cue car. A cue car. Why do I want you to think about a cue car? Because cue car is a mnemonic or a memory aid. It's an acronym to remember. And I'm asking you whether you have a cue car for your work, for your assignments for this semester. Q stands for question. Do you have a question? Or do you still have a broad topic or a broad issue? It's useful to have a question. C stands for car, but it also stands for clear. Is your question clear? Or is it confused or ambiguous? We're looking for a clear question, a question that's easy to understand. A is answerable. Is the question answerable? Or is it a massive question like, what is the meaning of life? Is it a broad philosophical question that's kind of too hard to answer in an assignment for a unit like this one? And the R in the cue car is relevant. Is the question a relevant question? Can you make connections with teaching practice, the world of education? Is the question useful and important to someone, and to you in particular? So I think it's useful to have a cue car. And remember that. Is it a question? Is the question clear? Is it answerable? Is it relevant? The other thing I wanted to do in this little video is to just touch base on a couple of things about the work for this week, week 4. The focus for this week is on questioning. And that's one of the reasons I spent so much time the other night, Tuesday night, focusing on the issue of questions and how you can generate questions from your broad topic. I encourage you to consider the PowerPoint presentation which is on Moodle. The PowerPoint presentation explores different levels of questioning or different types of questions that you can ask as you engage with the literature. It really takes us deeper into the how-to. How do we do critical thinking, which is one of the things that we've been focusing on so much in the first few weeks, and we'll continue to focus on as we move through this unit. So I encourage you to consider the slides and have a listen to the audio. That slide presentation has audio files attached to each slide. So have a listen to the audio and consider the slides on the different levels of questioning. Our Moodle book for week 4 also contains 2 excellent videos. Both of the videos explore the theme of identity or identities, which is the key theme for this week. What do we mean by identity, and how do we shape our identities? How do we become the people that we are? They're both excellent videos, but they're quite different. Marcus Lyon is a professional photographer who's talking about his work in photography. And he tells some wonderful brief stories about some of the people that he's met and how their identities have been shaped. Whilst Elizabeth Camp is more theoretical in her explanation, offering different academic perspectives on the concept of identity. So have a look at the two video clips and have a think about notions of identity and how they relate to your work and to your identity. The Explore and Reinforce page on the book for week 4 suggests a few different learning activities. And I'd like to encourage you to consider posting a small picture onto our wiki site. Have a think about whether there's something that you can capture just with your phone or your iPad or whatever. And post it onto the wiki site with perhaps a brief comment about what this image is saying to you. Be careful when you go onto the wiki site. Remember that it's easy to select things on the wiki. So be careful that you don't accidentally delete work or content that's already on the wiki site. But you should feel free to scroll down to the bottom of the site and add your images there. Maybe resize them a little bit so that they're not too big. But that would be a good thing to do, thinking about issues of identity and questioning. The second suggestion in the book is for group work, and I encourage you to consider the questions that have been framed on the book and to do that group work using your Google Docs in each of your different groups. And so you can work on that together in your Google Doc and make a few notes there in response to the questions that have been posed on the book. And then finally, there's also a suggestion for an individual reflection. And I think it would be quite nice if you wanted to post that onto the forum so that everyone in our class can share in the reflections on these questions. And that gives other people the opportunity to respond to your ideas and to your critical thinking as you're working through the course. So there's a few thoughts there. Of course, we're now at the time when I'm sure you're all thinking about this assignment, which is due shortly. The annotated bibliography is soon due, and I'm sure you will be focused on that task. Just a couple of things to note: that don't forget that there are guidelines, there's information, there's examples in the assessment section of the Moodle site, including information there about APA referencing and submitting an assignment. For most of you, I think this will be your first assignment submitted, so it's worth having a look at that information on the Moodle site to make sure you know how to go about submitting your assignments. You need to allow yourself time to use the Turnitin tool and get the similarity rating to make sure that you're not committing any sins of plagiarism. Try to write clearly, try to write in your own academic voice. I think it's more important to demonstrate your understanding and your appreciation of these pieces that you've been considering, rather than necessarily trying to use big words. Don't use words and language and concepts that you're not really clear about yourself. Put it in your own words and express your ideas about what this article means to you and how it's relevant to your topic. If you are having any difficulties or problems, remember that you can still reach me via the forum or via emails, and I will try and get back to you as quickly as I can. And one final point, if you've been unwell or if you have any legitimate and proper reason for asking for an extension, it is possible to gain an extension to get some extra time for the work if you've got really good reason to ask for that. So if you feel that you're under pressure and you're really struggling for some good reason, then I encourage you or advise you that it is possible to apply for an extension. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will automatically be granted, but you can always ask if you feel you've got a good reason to ask for that support. If you want to ask for an extension, I recommend that you do so before the assignment is due. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until after the assignment deadline has passed by. You know, if you're unwell, let me know, and then we can help. So that's just a few thoughts. You can see the light bouncing off my bald head here. I think you've probably had enough of my talking head for now, but hopefully this video will help to pick up on just a few key points that we didn't get a chance to talk about on Tuesday evening. We do have another face-to-face class on Tuesday evening next week coming up, so I look forward to seeing you all then. So cheerio for now. Turning off.